All right, here in Paris, here to recap the women's 200-meter dash. And yes, it's been a couple days or whatever, but there was no way I was going to let time pass me by without giving some reactions and some thoughts on this race. Now, one of the big stories at the top was Shericka Jackson pulling out of the race. She, of course, is the double world champion from 2022 as well as 2023. She's run 21.41 seconds last year. She's the second fastest woman of all time. She pulled out of the 100-meter dash initially. There was time to be able to replace her there with Sasha Lee Forbes, but she said that she was going to be focused on the 200. She unfortunately pulled out of that race as well. Literally like the morning of, right? We saw on the start list, we saw DNS next to her name, and everyone was just shocked. And I'll probably talk about this a little bit later in a kind of larger landscape of the women's sprints for Jamaica. But it's interesting because, you know, her and her team, they said that it was just a cramp, that, you know, when she got injured in Hungary, and that she was going to be ready. She was 100% fit and all this kind of stuff. It's really unfortunate that we didn't get to see Shericka here, but I'll talk about that in a second as well. First off, though, in the final, Gabby Thomas from the United States, 21.83 seconds to get the gold medal in this 200-meter dash. This has been a long time coming for Gabby, as this, of course, is her first gold medal. She had gotten the bronze medal at the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games. She then got the silver medal at the 2023 World Championships behind Shericka Jackson. So now she is finally standing on top of the podium in the 200-meter dash. On top of that, this has kind of been, 6 years in the making for Gabby Thomas, where she came out of Harvard in 2018. She was an NCAA champion indoors, where she broke the NCAA indoor record. I think she finished third place at the NCAA outdoor championships, but then she went on a complete tear over the next couple years, really just building her profile, building her consistency. Check out the video that I did on Gabby Thomas a couple months ago in the indoor season after she opened up her season. I speak about how she was very consistent. She won Diamond Leagues in 2018, as well as 2019. And though she didn't make any teams there, right? 2019, she didn't make the team. Once she got onto the team in Tokyo 2021, that was the first step towards the greatness that she is now experiencing in her career. And now, as we kind of think about the race as a whole, where Gabby Thomas, from the block, she got out pretty strong, but Julien Alfred really led from the first couple steps, right? The first couple meters. But once we got to about 50 meters into the race, Gabby Thomas was coming. She was close, and she was able to lead off the turn. And at that point, the race was over. I spoke to her in the mix zone afterwards, and she said that she completely blacked out. She doesn't even remember much after just getting out the start and then all the way to the finish. All she remembers is she crossed the line. She wasn't even sure if she won until she looked up and saw her name on that board. This was an amazing performance for Gabby Thomas, and she really executed well. The one thing that she said that she did not want to happen was that London Diamond League race. Remember where she got out extremely slow. She was, I don't even know, so far behind coming off the turn, and she didn't actually win that London Diamond League until literally the last meter, right? Julien Alfred was able to get out fast. Dina Asher-Smith was able to get out fast. Gabby Thomas had to work hard for that win. She didn't want to replicate that. She didn't want to leave it all to the last couple of meters. She wanted to close things out early on. And that's exactly what she did here in Paris for that gold medal. Now, like I noted, Shericka pulled out the race just a day before, whatever it was, right? We saw DNS. I asked her about it in the mix zone, and she said that, listen, yes, I knew about it. I'd heard a little bit about it, but she knew that she was ready to win no matter what.
I mean, I had heard it. To be honest, Shericka Jackson, I mean, she's an incredible competitor, but I'm not really afraid to race anybody, and I knew that I was going to come prepared this year. You know, just looking at everyone's kind of season trajectories, I understood that I was ready and prepared to win this race. I would have liked to have raced her, and I wish her the best. I hope she has a speedy recovery, but I'm really excited.
Of course, every athlete is going to have general nerves and things like that, but think back to the conversation that, you know, myself, Chris Chavez, Caitlin Hutchinson, the conversation we had after Olympic trials with Gabby. She said that she is not scared of anyone. So what this kind of tells me is that Gabby is keeping close tabs on her competition, right? She said that she keeps tabs on the Jamaicans and some of her other athletes. I know a lot of athletes love to say, I'm just focused on my lane, I'm not paying attention, this, that, whatever. But it tells me that Gabby is keeping close tabs on her competition, and she knows that she wants to be able to beat them, right? She's able to say, okay, I know what other athletes have been running throughout the season. I've been kind of looking to see how I am relative to them this year, and she knew what she had to do to win, and she did exactly that. Even though 21.83 is not the fastest time in the world, right? She has that at 21.78. It's not the fastest time over the past couple years. It's not even the fastest time that she's run at global championships. In 2023 last year, she ran 21.81 seconds for the silver medal. So she knows what she has to do to be able to get the win, and she did exactly that. On top of that, I ran into her coach, Tanya Buford-Bailey, just after the race in the stadium, and Tanya said, I wasn't even nervous. Like, herself, as the coach, she was not nervous. She was confident that Gabby was going to be able to get this win, and that's just a testament to the work that Tanya has been able to put in to bring Gabby to this point, right? She's been working with Gabby since 2018 when she, came out of Harvard, and she's been building her up to be this athlete to finally stand on top of the podium. Someone can kind of fact check me, but I know that, of course, Tanya has a silver medal from the World Championships in 1995 in the 400-meter hurdles. She has a bronze medal in 1996 at the Olympics in the 400 hurdles as well. I'm not sure if she's ever coached an individual gold medalist, though, in any of the sprints, right? I know she coached more like a Kinnison in 2016 on the 4x1. I think she also coached Ashley Spencer in 2013 to the gold in the 4x4. But again, someone can fact check me. I don't know if Gabby Thomas or if Tanya Buford-Bailey coached anyone to an individual gold medal. Huge shout outs to Tanya Buford-Bailey. Now, on top of that, 21.83 for Gabby Thomas. This gives her the 4 fastest times in the 200 meters this year. And it actually gives her 5 of the top 6 times in the world this year. Of course, she has a world lead. She has all that. That just speaks to the consistency that Gabby Thomas has been able to put down this year. It's not just about the gold medal. It's about her dominance throughout the entire season. Look at coming off of the NCAAs, where McKenzie Long was the world leader. Gabby Thomas was able to step things up and not only get the win, but also pick up the world lead with the 21.7. So Gabby Thomas really showing she is the most dominant athlete in 2024. No matter who is in the race, no matter who is competing, no matter who is doing what around the world, Gabby Thomas is able to deliver. And I know that on the surface, we may have expected probably a faster time. I personally expected probably a little bit of a faster time, but regardless, the thing is that Gabby Thomas has been showing that she is able to deliver when it matters most, no matter what time is actually required. Think back to Tokyo 2021. Gabby Thomas was kind of behind Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, right? We saw Elaine Thompson-Herah, we saw Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, and then we saw Gabby Thomas kind of coming. Christine Mboma, she actually came through late and really passed everyone except for Elaine Thompson-Herah. But Gabby Thomas was able to dig deep, surpass a couple women, and get on the podium there. Same thing in 2023. Yes, she wasn't surpassing people in a sense, and Shericka Jackson was kind of gone and out there, but she was able to run fast enough to make sure that she got on the podium. Yes, we would all love the 21.6s, the 21.5s, the 21.4s, but at the end of the day, you were an Olympic gold medalist. No one can ever take that away from you. No one can ever take that away from you. So let me talk about some of these implications, specifically about Gabby Thomas, and then I'm gonna dive into some of these other athletes. Well, in my opinion, this solidifies Gabby Thomas amongst the greatest 200-meter runners in history, right? The last American woman to win a gold medal in the 200 was Allison Felix in 2012, and I think the last time 3 Americans made the final in the 200 was 2012 as well. But the thing is, Gabby Thomas now enters the conversation as one of the few women in history to have at least 3 medals in the 200-meter dash on the global stage at either Worlds or Olympics. You're talking about Allison Felix, Veronica Campbell-Brown, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Merlene Ottey, Florence Griffith-Joyner, Debbie Ferguson McKenzie, Daphne Schippers. Along with Gabby Thomas, these are the only women in history who have won at least 3 or more medals at the World Championships and the Olympic Games in the 200-meter dash. Gabby, bronze in 2021, silver in 2023, gold in 2024. Completed the set and now is solidified as one of the greats. And yes, I know that there's a couple names on here that you may be looking for, and I know that some of these medals the colors are a little bit different. Allison Felix, Veronica Campbell-Brown, tons of gold medals, right? Daphne Schippers, she has, 2 gold medals and 1 silver at the Olympics. Gabby Thomas, only 1 gold medal, a bronze and a silver. It's all gonna be a little bit different, but these women have displayed that consistency that some other women throughout history have been unable to do in the 200-meter dash specifically. And along with that, Gabby Thomas has years to keep going. She has years to keep earning more medals, to keep progressing, and to keep getting better and better and better. Now, to finish off with this, I did want to talk about Shericka Jackson just a little bit, where again, she pulled out of the 200 as well as the 100-meter dash as well. And I know that some people may say that, if Shericka was there, if she was fully healthy, then, she would have won and Gabby would have finished second or whatever it is. And yes, on the surface, you can say that, right? Shericka Jackson, 21.41, Gabby Thomas, 21.60. Their personal bests are not the same. And yes, 21.83, it's not the fastest time, over the past couple years, but she did get the gold medal. The big thing that I always highlight is that every athlete has to prepare for the moments that matter most. Yes, you may be dealing with injury. Yes, you may be dealing with setbacks. Yes, you may have made a mistake, but you have to make sure that you are ready on the time that matters most. Every athlete, for the most part, you're an NCAA athlete, you're a professional athlete or whatever, you're coming to the Olympics, you're coming to the Worlds, and you know what the goal is. being a professional athlete or being a competitor in track and field means that you're making sure that you can be healthy when it, throughout the season to be prepared, that you're doing the training to make sure that you're ready, that you're getting the sleep the night before, that you're not, fidgety in the blocks, that you're not nervous when you're standing on the line. All those factors come into play, and unfortunately, they can't be used as an excuse to say that, oh, this athlete would have done X, Y, Z. Now, again, this isn't to take anything away from Shericka Jackson and the amazing accomplishments that she has, but we also can't take away from the accomplishments that Gabby Thomas has been able to make in the 200-meter dash, specifically this year. We could say that, 2011, if Usain Bolt didn't false start, Johan Blake wouldn't be the world champion. Sure, that's true, and yes, based on time, that's very true, but at the end of the day, Usain Bolt false started. Johan Blake is the world champion. We can't do revisionist history, right? You could think back to, 1992 at the Olympic Games. If Gail Devers didn't hit a hurdle, then all these other women wouldn't be the gold medalists, right? They wouldn't be the gold, silver, and bronze medalists. But at the end of the day, she did hit a hurdle. She's not the gold medalist. The other women are the podiums, right? Got on the podium. So I don't think we should play that game here. I want to make sure that we give respect to Shericka Jackson, the accolades that she has, as well as Gabby Thomas and the accomplishment that she was able to make here. So huge shout outs to Gabby Thomas. Let me go through a couple other women in the field and some other implications as we kind of look forward here, where Julien Alfred came off the 100-meter dash gold medal, her first ever gold medal for St. Lucia at the Olympic Games in any sport. She got the silver medal here, 22.08 seconds. Again, coming off that 100-meter gold, now getting a silver, the second ever medal for her country of St. Lucia at the Olympic Games. Massive accomplishment for Julien Alfred. She said that after the 100, she got like 2 hours of sleep and she had to immediately jump into the 200-meter dash. I also got a chance to speak with Julien Alfred after the race, and I asked her, like, yo, how do you feel about the 200? Like, do you still like the event? She's like, nah, I'm not even at that point yet. So it just speaks to kind of how resilient she is, how strong she is in terms of being able to put everything on the line to do her best to really, make her country proud, make the people around her proud, make her coach proud, do all of that for the other people that, have been supporting her all throughout. After the World Indoor Championships, when she won gold in the 60, she said that she went back to St. Lucia, she started her foundation, she got, an amazing applause, an amazing appreciation from her country, but they said, yo, bring us back an Olympic gold medal. That was a lot of pressure for her, but she did deliver, and now she followed that up in the 200. She has run 21.8 seconds this year as well, which she ran finishing second place to Gabby at the London Diamond League. So I think she does have a very bright future. I think just here in this race, she was just a little exhausted, right? The rounds probably just got to her, and it was a really, really tough. So huge shout outs to Julien Alfred and all the work that she's put in. Just behind them, in third place, Brittany Brown from the United States got the bronze medal, 22.20 seconds. Brittany Brown is solidifying herself as one of the most consistent 200-meter sprinters for the United States and of sprinters overall. But think about this. This is her second global medal. 2019, she got the silver medal in the 200-meter dash in Doha, right? And now this is her first Olympic medal. Really, again, solidifying the work that she's been putting in. She's been dealing with so many setbacks where she was unsponsored entering the Olympic trials. She was able to get, second place and make the Olympic team. Then she was able to make the final here at the Olympics and actually get on the podium, finishing third place in a very, very close race. She ran a personal best at the Olympic trials. She signed with Nike right after the Olympic trials. She had so many things that kind of went on behind the scenes and, in this last couple, month or two or so, right, leading up to the games. And for her to deliver at the moments that moment that mattered most was huge for Brittany Brown. Huge shout outs to Brittany and everything that she was able to do. Check out the conversation that myself and Caitlin Hutchinson had with Brittany Brown after Olympic trials, where, she was speaking about, her challenges with her health and some of the setbacks that she's dealt with and her advocacy for other women who deal with endometriosis. So definitely check that out, as she is an amazing ambassador for, her as a black woman, for the sport of track and field, just for everything. Brittany Brown is absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of the work that she did. And definitely check out the video that I did with Brittany Brown, or that I did of Brittany Brown last year in 2023 after she made the team in the 100-meter dash. At that point, I was kind of talking about the journey that she had to get here, where she wasn't an NCAA champion. I don't even think she finished, top 4 or top 5 in the NCAA while she was at Iowa. She doesn't have the fastest times on paper. Her personal best is 21.90. Gabby Thomas, Dina Asher-Smith, McKenzie Long, and Julien Alfred, they all have personal bests faster than Brittany Brown. But because she's been able to be consistent, because she's been able to show up at the moments that matter most, she was able to get on the podium for the second time in her career. This is massive for Brittany Brown. Just like I noted with Gabby Thomas as well. Gabby Thomas is one of, just a couple women throughout history who have at least 3, major championship medals in the 200. Brittany Brown also enters the conversation as one of just a couple women from the United States who have at least 2 global medals in the 200-meter dash. And look at this list. Gabby Thomas, Allison Felix, Gwen Torrence, FloJo, Carmelita Jeter, Brittany Brown. In that list, these are women who have at least 2 global medals in the 200-meter dash at either the Olympic Games or the World Championships. So this just speaks to the consistency that Brittany Brown has been able to put down in her career. Huge shout outs to Brittany Brown. Going through the rest of the field, Dina Asher-Smith, 4th place, 22.22 seconds. Now, this is kind of really tough because this is her 3rd Olympic Games. 2016 in Rio, she got the 5th place spot. 2021 in Tokyo, she actually didn't start, right? She got injured, I think, after the 100 meters. And now here in Paris, she unfortunately got 4th place, just off the podium by 0.02 of a second. This is really tough because Dina Asher-Smith, she has the gold medal from 2019. She has a bronze medal from 2022, but she doesn't yet have an Olympic medal in any individual event. Yes, she has the relay medals, of course, for Great Britain, but that individual medal is what she was looking for. So this has kind of been a tough Olympic Games for her. And man, she's always so close, but always off the podium in the Olympic Games. And it's going to be hard to see as we look forward to 2028 if Dina Asher-Smith is going to be able to get on the podium. I mean, you have so many young women who are going to be on the rise, who are coming up. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. But huge shout outs to Dina Asher-Smith. Behind her, Daryll Neita. Daryll Neita, 5th place, 22.23 seconds, 0.03 of a second off that podium. Now, as most of y'all know, you can check out the video that I did on Daryll Neita. She's been making a lot of progress. I thought that she had some outside chance to be able to make the podium. The fact that she only finished 0.03 of a second off that podium shows that she was very much in the mix. So, I mean, I was rooting for her very, very heavy. Unfortunately, she came up just short. She finished 4th place in the 100-meter dash. So this overall has been a pretty good, consistent Olympics for Daryll Neita, but I like the consistency that she's had. Made the final last year at the World Championships, finishing, I think, 5th place there. Now she finished 5th place once again in the 200. Who knows? We might see her really make some progress as we go next year into the Tokyo World Championships. Just behind Daryll, Favour Ofili. Shout out to Favour Ofili with her 6th place finish, 22.24 seconds. So as you can see, from Brittany Brown with 22.20 all the way down to Favour Ofili with 22.24, we're talking about number 3, 4, 5, and 6 separated by 0.04 of a second. This was extremely close of a race, really just by a lean. And this was our first Olympic final in the 200-meter dash in any capacity, right? In any event. So Favour really put things on the line. She had dealt with some injuries over the past couple years. We remember her when she was in the NCAA for LSU. She was the first NCAA athlete on the women's side to run sub 22 seconds. This is really her coming into her own and really starting to make a lot of progress to be competitive with the best in the world. One really big thing here is that this is the first time that Nigeria has made the final for the women's 200-meter dash since 1996, right? That was when Mary Onyali, she had made the final and she finished in the 3rd place position, right? She got the bronze medal behind Marie-Josée Perec as well as Merlene Ottey. So massive performance and massive historical, mark for Favour Ofili to finish 6th place here in the Olympic final. Very, very bright future ahead of her. McKenzie Long, 7th place, 22.42 seconds. This was a really tough race for her. She was running on the inside in lane 2, but listen, she's had a very, very long season. Check out the podcast that Chris Chavez had done with McKenzie Long, talking about her journey, her story, and everything. Got a chance to speak with her in the mix zone as well. And, she was really just saying this was a long season, but she put in so much work to get to this point. The fact that she's been competing since, January for Ole Miss, this was a huge accomplishment to make it all the way to August and to make the Olympic final. McKenzie Long is going to have an extremely bright future. So she recently just moved down to Florida as her coach from Ole Miss actually got a job at the University of Florida. So she's not going to be training there. She's not going to be in Coach Holloway's group, that professional group. She's going to be training with her coach, but Coach Holloway will kind of dip in and take looks and things like that. But huge shout out to McKenzie Long and the work that she put in. Finally, 8th place, Jessica Gabai. She managed to run 22.70 seconds here. Also, just like some of the others, first Olympic final, first major championship final, and she has a very bright future. She just came out of Howard University, I think, in 2022. She competes for Côte d'Ivoire, and yeah, she's young, she's rising. She's going to be, a very strong talent as we look forward to the future. She's been a mainstay on Côte d'Ivoire's 4x1s over the past, 2-3 years, and I think that she's going to have a very strong future individually now, considering she just made an Olympic final. So overall, that's the final that we just saw from all the women here. This was an amazing race, regardless of the time, regardless of who was there, who was not there. I really love this race across the board for all the historical marks that we saw. Gabby Thomas, gold medal, 21.83 seconds. Julien Alfred, silver medal, 22.08 seconds. And then Brittany Brown, bronze medal, 22.20 seconds. Let me know what you think of this women's 200-meter dash final, some of the implications here, and then specifically about Gabby, right? Where would you put Gabby kind of in the larger, landscape of, women's 200-meter sprinting as a whole, historically, right? Again, you have names like an Allison Felix, like a Veronica Campbell-Brown, right? You have a Flojo, you have, Gwen Torrance, you even have Shericka Jackson. Where does Gabby kind of stack up in the landscape of these 200-meter women when we're talking historically? Probably going to talk about that on a later date, but always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.